also shout out to the government of, I think it's Brazil, for, like, don't get me wrong. I understand what Nintendo is doing with the whole banning accounts for hacked consoles thing, but personally, like, just do what most other gaming companies do, and that's ban the hardware from being able to use online services. That's all. That's all you gotta do. Like, I fell off. Like, people wanting to mod their switches, like, they should be able to because they paid for it. It's theirs. Oh, like it'd be like me buying all the parts for my computer and then going, you know what? I actually want to run an emulator, and then Microsoft is like, nah, you can't do that, fam. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't do that? They're like, nah, it's our hardware. And you're like, what? But I paid for it. You know what I mean?
I understand. I just... for me, I don't really see a need to, you know, to do that. For me, being honest. Like, there's... If you want to do that, there's a computer. Get a computer. Do that. Do that on the computer. It'll run better on the computer, most likely. So, just...
Well, the reason why I'm saying is because, like, people are having their hardware basically destroyed, and it's like, well, if you're going to destroy my hardware, why did I spend my money to get this thing in the first place?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that Nintendo's making a good, like, decision by doing that far of an extreme, because, like, there is some, you know, some people are just getting shit luck, or, you know, not really doing anything to, you know, warrant that. But at the same time, I understand what Nintendo is trying to do in some sense, you know.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, I understand what they're trying to do, but I don't agree with the bricking of the entire console, because, oh god, I don't agree with the bricking of the entire console, because, like, I feel like this is one of the issues that you see from it.
Watch your back.
You know, the console overreacts and goes, basically, oh god, I got caught in ink. Basically goes, I sent something that's not Nintendo licensed. Let me brick this console.
I feel like you said, the account being suspended would be a better, oh my god. Yeah, like, the account being suspended is a better option to me than just bricking the entire thing.
Yeah, because I'm like, bro, what the hell? But you know what's going to happen, right? Nintendo playing this game, there are a lot of other really smart people out in the world that might not necessarily work for big companies that will most likely figure out how to unbrick the consoles. Yeah, a warning definitely would be nice. A ban on your account, and then third is like offline ban. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the 360 days. I had a ban 360, and my brother told me way back when, he's like, you won't be able to play this online. I'm like, why? He's because it was the console itself was banned. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know what that meant. I just knew that I couldn't use it online. But, like, it makes sense not to brick the console where you can still play games on it, because, like, now you're missing out on money. Like,
yeah, so
when I say you're missing out on money, like, if the console itself was banned and not bricked, people would still go out and buy games.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, now I'm gonna say there's not a guarantee of that. But I do feel like when it comes to, like, if people are getting, like, bricked games, like brick systems because of, like, used games, that's messed up. But, like, if you're going to mod your Switch 2, I'm sorry, dog. Nah. Like, I can't say that I necessarily feel bad for you or anything. Like, that was your decision. Like, you had a whole computer that you could do that with, if that's what you wanted to do. Like, I don't necessarily subscribe to that notion of, oh, well, you know, I bought it, so, like, oh, okay, good for you, but, like, they still have the ability to say, like, what they want. Oh my god. For the system that they made, like,
I can't subscribe to that, because I want you to know, by that logic, a lot of free apps that we use on our phones and our computers, that opens the door for a lot of different companies to do a lot of different things like that. And
well,
I'll tell you right now, cell phones would be the first ones to be like, oh, you downloaded this app that lets you download movies illegally? Bricked.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but for me, I guess what I'm saying more specifically is, if you got a Switch 2, you know, play it however you like to play it, yeah, but if Nintendo's like, hey, you know, just don't mod it and just have fun with what we made, then just do that, you know? I don't know.
Only reason that I'm not saying that is because technically you can say that about anything. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, Sega is a great example of that. Saying, hey, take our work, take our IP, and make something that fans will love. Keep the spirit for this character alive. Nintendo's like, oh, you made a fan-made Pokemon game? Nah, dog, take that down. You can't use that because we didn't do it.
Nintendo's always been like that. And there are tons of companies that are like that, or worse than that. So I don't really feel like
just
that's
because they're.
I don't feel like that's a savior in that case. And like, I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do. But I'm saying, like, there's definitely there's not a wrong or a right to this. Like, should people be doing it? Should they be banning people?
How many times have you ever bought a bootleg movie?
None. Never. I've never bought a
really?
bootleg. No, I've never bought bootleg movies. I've never bought bootleg movies, and I've never,
all right,
like...
How many times you watch Sentai online?
A lot.
Exactly. Hey, by that notion, your computer should be bricked. Hey, you know why I'm saying your computer should be bricked.
No, I understand what you're saying, but...
Like, imagine if Microsoft was able to brick your computer.
That's why I said there's not a wrong or right answer to this, because you can't just say, oh, well, we should just be able to do it. That's not the right thing to say, but it's also in the same vein of, like, if it's not accessible to a lot of people, then, like, is it more understandable? That's debatable.
Just be following your lead. Basically, that's why I said, like, that, like, personally, I'm like, should there be consequences? Yes, there should be consequences. Bricking the entire hardware, because I'll tell you right now, like, God forbid my Switch gets bricked, I'm not buying another one.
Yeah.
Especially if I didn't do anything that caused it to get bricked, I'm not buying another one. As a long-time standing Nintendo fan who's owned just about every console since I've been on this earth, yeah, I just, like, that would just be another $500 that they wouldn't have anymore.
And that's what I mean. Like, if it's a situation where, you know, you are not responsible.
And, like, I just want to make it clear, I am not saying you should steal. I am not saying you should pirate, because pirating is most definitely wrong. But I think it's, like, overreaching. I think Nintendo's overreaching a bit with it.
like I said, I think that the approach they're going with is not the right one to go with, because, you know, they're being a little too extreme with it. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that people don't go overboard, because people do. People go way overboard.
Definitely.
And then they take stuff like that for granted.
For being bricked up.
They take stuff like that for granted and then, you know, abuse it. So
nah, like I guess the thing that makes me a little bit like miffed, and this is how I was feeling from the onset of everything, like hearing about their new terms of agreement and stuff. The whole thing about bricking consoles, I didn't like it because I'm like, you know, blacklisting is one thing. Like, Apple's a great example of blacklisting. Like, they will blacklist an iPhone like nobody's freaking business. And I'm like, understood. Someone jailbroke it. They did something they weren't supposed to do with it. But if it gets bricked, it gets bricked because, you know, you did something wrong while trying to jailbreak it in the process. And like, a lot of people did, and a lot of people were pissed off about it. But like, it's not like Apple was like, oh yeah, we're gonna break.
what? Oh, what?
Like, because the reason I say is because it's like, for me, like, game developers, indie game developers, if the people who own the IPs always go, no, we're the only ones that can make stuff for it, then you have no innovation at that point. Like, and everything just comes to a halt. Like, Pokemon only made by Game Freak. You want to make Pokemon games and write stuff about Pokemon, you have to work at Game Freak or Pokemon Company. That's why I'm like, you know, a lot of the stuff we have for the Switch 2 is because people modded their Switches. The main thing being the fan in the base. I seen a bunch of people mod their Switches to overclock them to see how long they will run before crashing and like overheating and crashing on both OLEDs, Switch, and Switch Ones. I never saw the Switch Lights, but when they figured out what the limit was, they started 3D printing bases and putting fans in them, and they found out like, oh crap, we can overclock it, it'll heat up, but if we put a fan in to pull in cool air, then we're good. It runs just fine and runs better. They also figured out if we put an Ethernet port in it, we could plug directly into Ethernet. And then what did Nintendo do? Put an Ethernet port in the OLED dock, and then put a fan in the Switch 2 dock. And they were using older chips. The Nintendo has the absolute balls to just sit on half the shit and do absolutely nothing with it. Yeah, for real. Then they're surprised when fans said IP try to make content. It's like, yeah.
Listen, I'm not upset at anyone who did anything with their Switch because, like, you know, they were curious about what it would be if it ran better, you know? But I guess in my mind, like, there are some people who just take it too far. And oh my god, why are you so annoying? Yeah, there are just some people that take that whole thing so far, and like I said, I'm not for the chain or the bricking of the system, because I think that's way too much. But I feel like, you know, at some point people have to, you know, understand, like, okay, listen, you know, play the game as it was, like, not as it was intended, but like play the game, man. Play your game. Play your Nintendo Switch.
My bad, I got mad focused for a second, but yeah, like that's why I said I believe there should be consequences for doing piracy acts.
Yeah, I'm
but
with
like
you.
bricking the entire console to me is just a step too far, especially when it's
What the hell happened?
the only reason I say it's overreaching is because when you think about all the good people out there that buy and support Nintendo, like us.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, if we're talking about like actual, like, you know, not just fans of Nintendo, but like people who actually really want to play the game, whatever, and like even if, you know, it's just simple stuff, like, okay, I can understand, but like I'm with you on like the consequences. Like, you know, if you're doing this with your Switch 2, like your Switch 2, like there should be repercussions for it.
Like, I'll say this. The whole buying Switch 1 games and then just paying $10 for, like, buying a used Switch 1 game and then upgrading to the Switch 2 version for $10 and it being less money than buying the Switch 2 game. Y'all do realize if y'all abuse that, Nintendo's going to straight put a stop to it, and Switch 2 consoles are only going to be able to use Switch 2 versions of games.
Yeah.
It will easily be a software update.
I was gonna say, like, it's not as much of a boon as you think it is, and if you continue to share it out in the space where everybody and their mom can see it because it's the internet,
Yep.
they'll pick up on it and go, well, now every game is just Switch 2 version from here on out, and that Nintendo has the right to do that.
I'm telling you like this. If I was CEO and I was losing money because, yes, I'd do it. I would 110% do it. Only games that would have been backwards compatible were games that were already out. Anything new moving forward would not be backwards compatible. And there's somebody in the comments right now typing up, oh, well, you obviously don't know how the Switch 2 or the Switch hardware works. It doesn't matter. Like, it really does not matter. A simple line of code can make it where you can A, play it, or B, not play it. They were able to make it where it was backwards compatible, but they can easily start building new chips, or not chips, but new cartridges that aren't compatible with the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Or just make everything a game key.
Yeah, I was gonna say the game key thing, yeah. I mean,
we're really effed.
One time, my barber tried to, oh my god, dog.
Try to buy you a VR headset
That he hand built. Wow, that's kind of funny.
Hey.
Night shifts, you know how it goes.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Well,
have a great night at work.
Yeah, have a good shift. Don't work too hard. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for coming by. Go and be the best.
Yeah, go get that paycheck.
Dog, are you serious? That's great.
Wait, did you die because of what was sitting under there?
Mm-hmm.
Why? What happened?
I swam to the left, sat there, and as I was about to move, it stopped and then blew up right on top of the bridge.
That's crazy.
I did not know you were under there, and I'm like, well, rip.
I'm tired of this bow.
See ya.
See ya.
That was a nice little conversation. Like, yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, to be honest, it's like Apple with their right to repair bill. Like, if you don't know about Apple's right to repair, they apparently it was a whole thing. I only remember because like I owned like an iPhone at that time. But what it was if say any part of your iPhone broke, they made it where you had to go to an Apple store to get it repaired.
Oh yeah.
Like if you got it repaired by don't step back. That was me behind you with 10 missiles on me.
It's fine.
If you got your iPhone repaired, like they were blacklisted because they didn't repair. You can jump up here if you want. You can jump up here if you want. You can do it. Come on, dog. How you want it? Close casket. You know I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. But yeah, like it pissed a lot of people off because Apple's not the only one capable of repairing phones. Plus, Apple charged an insane amount of money to repair these phones. Like, if I didn't have Apple Care, alright, let me put it this way. I had Apple Care on a, like, 4-year-old or 4-generation and or 5-generation-year-old phone. And I still had to pay, like, $128 to fix the screen. And that was with the insurance that I paid for annually. So, a lot of people were pissed off because they couldn't go to like the local shop that was able to get the same parts or similar parts that were just as good and get the phone repaired.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, at what point is the company overreaching?
Yeah.
Like, again, that's why I'm like, I understand the whole stealing of IP because, like, not gonna lie, as a content creator, I get nervous about that as well because, like, that's why, for those of you who don't know, I used to make beats and I made a lot of beats in FL Studio. I used to go in and I was learning. But I never posted anything online because I never wanted my beats stolen. And like, you know, some people go, oh, just put a tag in it. But like, you know, as technology advanced, you know, like it became easier and easier to take stuff. Or, you know, if they heard a section of it that they liked, wow, they whiffed that. They literally could have just sampled that section of my beat and called it a day. I say that basically to say, like, if I put it up, just like these videos that I put up, technically I am using somebody else's IP to make these videos, but because it is me playing them and I purchased it, it's okay. But then you get certain games, like Persona, where you can't play the game as it's intended, or like some older games because of the music. And it's like, but bruh, the music is in the game.
That's not a Persona thing, that's a YouTube thing. Because then they want you to actually listen to the music and experience the game for, you know, what it is, especially if you've never played Persona before.
But that's my point. It's a copyright issue because of YouTube, because of it, and it's usually because of the artist.
No,
because
what I found out from multiple people is it's usually not even like, let's say like Atlus, for example. That's the company that makes Persona. It's usually some person claiming that they made it because they, you know, had it in their video, or they made a song that had it, you know, in it. And since the bot that handles copyright doesn't, you know, do a very good job, that's what ends up happening.
Is not smart enough. Yes. That's literally my point. Like, leaving it up to a computer to decide can make things really iffy when it comes to anything like this, because the program that Nintendo wrote obviously has a lot of bugs in it, and it's just one of those things that's going to be a pain for a while until it's fixed. Like, for instance, me with my whole my Nintendo Switch is broken already. Like, I didn't lie, but you know, it was more of like a half truth.
Yeah.
And the only reason I say it's like more of like a half truth is because like technically part of the Switch is broken because the Ethernet port doesn't work anymore. But you know, I'll just put it this way. And then I'll leave it alone. I get very passionate about these conversations sometimes. Nintendo is stepping into Ferrari territory. And I don't have to worry about this because I'm not a fan of Ferrari. So if future me apologize to Ferrari if anything changes and, you know, we get a Ferrari deal and then they get mad because I said I'm not a fan of Ferrari, you know, X amount of years ago in the past.
Wait. Here. We'll do it this way. Take what you're gonna say, but say it differently. That way, just in case you end up ever getting a Ferrari, it doesn't come back as slander.
I don't care. Well, no, Ferrari can't send me a cease and desist. I'm not a fan of Ferrari. That's what I was going to say. Well, I'm not a fan of Ferraris. Do I think they look cool? Yes. Do I think they perform cool? Yes. Are they cool cars? Yeah. I am not a fan of Ferraris. I am more of a fan of Lamborghinis. But that's my standpoint. I am entitled to my opinion.
Yeah.
Great car brand, great cars. I'll say great cars. It depends on what you're looking for in a car. Great cars. But personally, if I bought a Ferrari and I wanted to wrap it like Deadmau5 or Justin Bieber, and you know they came and told me that I couldn't wrap it the way that I want to wrap it because of whatever reason, you know, they're controlling their brand. Yes, but I also purchased, wow, that's hilarious. I also purchased the vehicle and I should be entitled to do what I want to the property that I purchased. Like, Ferrari literally just had a whole thing about this not too long ago, and that's why people are like up in arms, because it's like, where's the divide between consumer rights and company rights?
Yeah.
Like, I believe companies should protect their intellectual properties at all costs. You know, whether fans like it or not. But where's the line drawn in that? It's almost like a Federal Trade Commission should be a thing, right? Got him. But moral to the story, guys. Don't steal IPs. Go buy Ferraris. Ferraris are great cars. And Ferrari, if you're listening, like, I do like your cars to an extent. I just don't like some of the things you do sometimes as a company. But I understand. Also, I understand why you do it.
Support the official release.
Yeah, exactly. Support your local artists.
Yeah, so if there's an artist that you like, make sure you go support them. Maybe send them a nice message or something. Tell them how much you like their art.
Click, comment, and subscribe.
Watch your back.
Thank you.
I tried.
Thank you very much.
I was trying.
Like, it wasn't until I became an adult that I realized, I'm like, oh wow, I have adult money. I can actually support the things that I like. So let me go support these game companies, even if I don't like the games, or let me support car companies, even if I don't like the cars. And yes, if and when, like, not when, or not if, but when I own a Ferrari at some point in my life, because I will own one at some point in my life, it'll be blacklisted so fast. I don't know. I don't get down with status symbols. Like Lamborghini's low key like apparently the redheaded stepchild of the supercar community, because they're and I say this like relative, like I am just a normal person with a regular 9 to 5. But there are people with regular 9 to 5s that are able to buy Lamborghinis and afford Lamborghinis and drive them around, because Lamborghini lets you do. They're more lenient. They want people to enjoy the brand, so they give people more leadway to do crazy things. But Ferrari, on the other hand, is like,